Winter Smokehouse Kitchen. So today I'm going to be doing a venison backstrap, and I'm also going to be doing a redneck cobbler. If any of you know me, you know I like to keep things pretty simple, so it's not anything too in-depth. Mama's been out of town helping her folks, and so I was able to get a backstrap out of the freezer. So we are going to smoke a venison backstrap today, or part of one. And then I'm also going to work on this redneck cobbler. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into preparing our ingredients for the redneck cobbler. It's going to be blueberry. All right, so for our redneck cobbler recipe, I usually keep it pretty simple. It's a bettered up version of a dump cake, I guess. Typically a dump cake is you take some fruit that is in water or in syrup, you dump it into a baking pan, you pour some cake mix on top of it, and then you put some butter on top of that, throw it in the oven, and then you've got yourself a dump cake. So what I do is, some people will add sugar and different things to that, but so I use pie filling. I've done this numerous times. I use a pie filling. I'm not doing strawberry today. I'm doing blueberry today. And we need 2 cans of this, and we're gonna dump into this bowl. I'm gonna add some nutmeg, some cinnamon, some Italian sweet cream, and then we're gonna mix that all up. So I use Great Value brand Italian sweet cream. Man, this stuff is really good. And I don't do exact measurements when I do this. I just add the ingredients to taste, basically to when I feel satisfied with the flavor, then that's where I leave it. You don't have to use all the ingredients that I've used in this. You can do it just like a dump cake. Use your pie filling into a baking dish and then put your cake mix on top of it if you want to, and then your butter, and slap it in the oven or in the smoker, and there you go. But I kind of like to take something and it's like, well, what if you do this, or what if you do that? And to experiment with it, and then just kind of make my own thing a little bit. So one thing I forgot to mention too that I put in here is vanilla. This is pure Mexican vanilla extract, and Mexican vanilla tastes different than the vanilla extract we get here in the United States. That's, you know, your standard stuff. So I usually, and this stuff is a little more potent, I guess you'd say. So sometimes I'll start off with about a half a cap, stir it in, check it, and if I need to add more, I can add more. The only problem is you can always add more, but you just can't ever take it back out of there. Now we are going to take our baking dish. You can use salted butter or unsalted butter. I've used both. For this one today, I'm going to use unsalted butter. I'm going to coat the inside of my baking dish, and then once we do that, then we'll pour the contents of this bowl into the baking dish. I decided to go ahead and coat my baking dish with the butter, which I've done. And while I was doing all this, I just kind of got this wild idea of like, what would happen if you took and put some of the cake mix in with your filling and then put it in there and baked it. So this is going to be an experiment. I've not done this part of it before. So it's either going to turn out good, or it's going to be something I'm going to say, wow, I should never have done that and I won't do it again. So y'all are going to get to go on the ride with me. Now, I've got some Betty Crocker Super Moist cake mix, yellow. I normally get the, it's the yellow classic, the sweet yellow classic cake mix is what I normally use, but they didn't have, well, they had 1 box, and so that wasn't gonna work because I need a box and a half to do this recipe. All right, so we're gonna we're not gonna coat these like we would a pork butt or something like that. We're just gonna lightly season these with a few seasonings. I've got some pink Himalayan sea salt here. And I've got some black pepper. Might put a little more salt on there. Got some garlic powder, some paprika. Now I've got smoked paprika. Man, that smells really good. I like that smoked paprika. All right, I'm gonna flip these over and I'm gonna repeat the same process. All right, now that we got both sides of these done, all the way around them, I'm gonna go ahead and I've got some bacon grease in my skillet over here. Gonna get the skillet good and hot, and then we're gonna sear these things. All right, I've got them seared as much as I want. I'm gonna go prep the smoker while these sit here and rest, and I'll get me a thermometer ready. Again, we want the internal temp of these to be around 128 to 132. All right, I've got the smoker going. I've got to wait for it to come up to temp to 350 because I'm gonna do the cobbler first. And then that way the meat doesn't have to be reheated when my wife gets home. So just waiting for it to come up to 350, and then we're gonna put the cobbler into the smoker, y'all, until it's a golden brown, and then we're gonna pull it and let it cool. Well, we've got the backstrap in there now. Just gonna wait for the internal temp to reach at least 128, and then we're gonna pull them.